Hi DIY friends, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making over my craft room sewing table. It is in dire need of a makeover. It's not very pretty and I'm ready to give it an elevated look to spruce up the entire room. I think this is totally going to change the look of my sewing room. I cannot wait to share this with you. Let's get into the video. These drawers are from Michaels. They're very similar to the Ikea Alex drawers, but I believe that the opening that you pull the drawer open with is a little bit bigger than the Alex drawers. I'm going to start with this project by taking everything apart, which means just taking the top off and flipping the drawers on their back. Now, these are barbecue skewers that I got from Walmart. They come in a pack of 100, and I ended up buying 8 packs, but only using 6 to cover both sets of drawers. These barbecue skewers are 97 cents each, and buying 8 of them, my total came out to $7.76, but because I only used 6, the project would cost even less. I'm almost positive that there is a better way to do this, but I don't know the exact way that would be, so for now, I'm just hot gluing every individual stick-on. The hot glue that I'm using is by Gorilla Glue, as well as so is this hot glue gun. However, if you have hot glue at home and it's not Gorilla Glue, that's totally okay. Use whatever you have. It took me about 2 days to put all the sticks on both sets of drawers, but once I found a rhythm, it went super fast. Someone over on TikTok said that I could use some sort of construction adhesive to almost paint on the drawers and then stick every single stick on, and that would probably go faster, but honestly this way works too, and I think would save you money overall, and we love a good budget project here. If you're not following me over on TikTok, I have the same handle at DIY Kristen. I post in real time projects just like this one. I'm using my hand sander to get everything flush and smooth to these drawers, and I'm also going to be rounding out the edges just to give it a beveled look and a more finished look. I'm using 60 grit sandpaper, and then I'm going back over with 120 and 300 to give it a super smooth finish. When you're working with furniture that is Ikea or anything that has a melamine surface, you want to make sure that you are sanding every single inch, scuffing it up, and making sure that there's a surface for paint to stick to. Otherwise, your paint will honestly just peel right off. I get questions a lot over on TikTok about my sander. This is a mouse sander or a mouse palm sander. I don't have a preference as to why I purchased this one. I think it was just the cheapest at the time, and I've had it for almost 10 years. It works great. Someone told me that using an orbital sander will make the job go by really fast, so I might be looking into getting an orbital sander as well. Now that the whole thing is sanded, I'm going to be using the Bullseye 123 primer by Zinsser to prime the whole surface of these drawers. I'm using a brush to brush on the drawer parts of the primer, and then I'm going to be rolling the rest of it on the body. I decided to go in with a brush on the drawers so that we got as much coverage as possible. I wanted to be able to get into the grooves of the little sticks. With a roller, I just wasn't able to get into the grooves as well as I am with a brush. The reason it's important to prime a piece like this is because it has a very shiny exterior, and the paint isn't going to stick to a surface like that, so sanding it beforehand and then rolling on the primer will allow the paint to stick super well and won't chip over time. Now that we have a prime surface, I'm going to go in with the paint color. This is Limousine Leather by Behr. It is their 1 coat coverage. It's just regular wall paint, but it is a more expensive wall paint. Even though this paint is 1 coat coverage, I am going to be doing 2 coats of paint to make sure that I'm able to get all the white covered. I'm going to be using the same painting techniques that I did with the primer. I'm going to be rolling the paint on for the tops and the sides, and then for the drawer fronts, I'm going to be painting it on with a brush. The brush I'm using is an angled brush. I can't remember who it's by, but it does have a blue handle, and you can find it at Home Depot. They have it in all of the painting supply section. But I will link all the products that I'm using today, except for the black paint, in the description box below so that you can purchase it on Amazon. I do have affiliate links with Amazon, so I will be making a little bit of commission if you do use the links to purchase, which will help me, but you definitely don't have to, and all of these things can be found at your local hardware store. I also don't think I mentioned this before, but I am using a foam roller. I love a foam roller for all kinds of painting projects. I think that it gives the best coverage and honestly works for most surfaces, except for maybe painting a wall. You want to make sure you're using the correct roller for the type of wall surface you have. I applied 2 coats of paint to the drawers and then let them sit overnight, brought them inside to start attaching the legs. I got the legs that I'm going to be using on Amazon for I think about $15 per set. Each set comes with 4 legs. I also couldn't find the footage from my camera of putting the drawer pulls on, so I'll insert a clip here of me putting them on TikTok. These were really easy to apply. I just found the center and drilled a hole and then screwed the knobs on, and that's how I did it. The legs were also super simple to apply. They have a center hole that the leg actually screws onto, and then they have 3 holes that you screw some screws into. So I drilled the center hole and marked the other screw holes, and then I just dropped the little metal piece the legs came with into that hole and just screwed on the little screws to secure it, and then I fastened the leg on. And then I just repeated this on the other 3 legs and the other set of drawers. The hardest part of this was making sure that I had a big enough hole drilled for the metal piece to sink into. So I did have to try a couple different bits to make sure that that little metal piece was in there all the way, but they are super sturdy and I love the look of them. In my opinion, having legs instead of the rolling casters that these came with elevated the look, and I love the look of the raw wood. I think it adds a nice natural element to such a dark piece of furniture. Like I said before, I'll link these in the description box below, so if you decide to purchase them, you can definitely stain them. You don't have to keep them raw wood, or you can paint them as well. I just personally liked the way it looked. So I tipped them back over on their feet, and then I put the top on. The top of my desk is just a piece of melamine that we had cut at Home Depot, and I wrapped it in contact paper a really long time ago. Originally, when I was doing this project, I thought that I wanted to re-contact paper the top of the desk with a wood contact paper, but I ended up ordering the wrong contact paper, and then once I put the marble looking top on, I just really liked the look of it. The final step to this project is just putting everything back where it belongs. I put my sewing machine back on the table and my serger, and then I added this little bowl. I thrifted this bowl a really long time ago and had intentions of making a little candle out of it, I guess a large candle out of it, but I think it looks great on my desk, and I just put some patterns in it that I would planned on making this summer. I hope you love this desk transformation, and don't forget to click that subscribe button to see more DIY videos like this one.